But I have the other ones available in there.
Wait.
But
So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
Going to be the bow after that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Ojo! I learned my lessons from last time. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drink imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day.
Peter did you a favor, James. I just say, believe it.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like some of our draw streams, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Yes. Man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Yes, guys, it is Sunday. This means another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams and their books and their campaigns, because I'm done with the mainstream. The mainstream is boring. It kind of sucks. And indie is where the passion is, guys. So, yes. Okay, I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. My weekend has been there's always stuff to do. There's always stuff to do, and sometimes I feel like I need to slow down. Just slow down, take a day off, right? And then I take this day off, and I feel guilty because there was stuff that I had to do. This is how these things go. But yeah, so the campaign for the artist edition of Perfect 10 is still up on FundMyComic. The link is in the description. You can check it out. It's it's fantastic, exclusive book. So it's a collector's item. It's hardcover. You saw it. 130 pages right now, and it is Paus Roddick's art from start to finish. We also have color pages now, so you also see the so you can basically read the entire comic as it became finally. Right. All right. Let's see who is here. with us today in the chat. The Devil Flyer Momentum. Hello. Hail to Dave and the mighty chat. Yes. I'll bring you up in a few minutes. And the link for today's campaign that we're talking about is pinned in the chat also, guys. So check it out. Mike is here. Hey, welcome, Mike. How are you doing? I should have known that the time change would throw you off again. Still, a good evening, Dave and all, since it's been a while from me. Ticker, the ticker. Thank you for reminding me. And no, the time change didn't throw me off, but it throws other people off. So it throws off my guests because it basically changed for them. For me, it doesn't change anything. But I think that most people don't really matter if it's an hour sooner or later on this time. Thank you for being here, Mike. All right, then we have Shadowhawk Talks. Hey, welcome. Hail, Jamie, Dave, Rex, and love to the chat. Yes, thank you so much. All right, guys, thank you for being here. So my guest, he has never been on the show before. I've been on his YouTube channel a few times. He does a lot of streams, a lot of streaming, guys. And I think this stream will be pretty easy for me because this guy, he has a lot to say, which is fantastic. It makes my job a lot easier. And there are like some streams or talk shows or interview like these sort of channels where the host talks more than the guests, and then the show is not really about the guest, right? So and Russ Leach is here, comic book a black belt. Welcome, Russ. Nice to see you on this Sunday, wonderful Sunday. What's an hour between friends? There you have it, guys. All right, it's time for the guest. It's time for the wonderful guest for today. So may I have a very warm welcome for Mr. Rex Christian.
Passion. I'll give you passion. And I'll give you some good independent comics too, Dave. I lift my glass to you on St. Patty's Day.
You see, this is how you introduce yourself, right?
That's right.
Excellent. Welcome, Rex. Welcome,
it's
sir.
Good to see you, Dave. It's always good to see you, man. You know.
What's in your cup? What were you drinking?
Well, this is chocolate milk, and I have some soda over here.
Oh,
you can never have enough liquid beverage when you get in front of the mic.
Yes, this is true. It's
yeah.
true. So what is St. Patty's Day? I don't know.
You know, for a lot of people, it's really.
No, I don't know. Is that weird?
Well, you know, I don't know if I can explain it. It's a holiday where a lot of people drink.
I'm being laughed at here. Come on.
Yeah, what is in your cup on St. Patty's Day?
Well, it's not St. Patty's Day here, but
right. Oh, okay. Well,
I have like lemonade.
Oh, okay. There you go. I've got some strawberry lemonade in there that I haven't cracked yet.
All right.
Strawberry. Yeah, get adventuresome, you know, especially with your comics. Don't do the same old, you know, stale bread that some people are delving out and calling it, you know, Eureka. I've discovered a new formula. You know, it's like you got to know the rules before you can break them, right? And
sure,
that means you have to be a fan of comics, you know. And I know Russ is a fan. I know Shadowhawk's a fan. You know, Russ has got Shadow Kingdom up there on FundMyComic. I'm up on FundMyComic. Luke's up on FundMyComic. Luke Stone, you know. And Mike's a fan because he's got, you know, fan. There you go.
Okay, since you can't explain Rex, so Shadowhawk is giving it a try. It's basically excuse to drink to excess and celebrate Saint Patrick, driving the snakes from Ireland.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, all
He
right.
drove all the snakes out of Ireland. I don't think Ireland has any snakes.
Really? No
Yeah.
snakes in Ireland?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, so what have you been doing so far, Rex, on this day?
Oh, what have I been doing? I've been streaming. I've been
Of course.
we went through. I was on with Russ earlier and
Oh,
Randy and I forget the other gentleman's name. It has politicians instead. Yeah.
yeah, snakes. They call them snakes also.
Yeah, we were reviewing a great comic earlier, and I did a few other streams and been doing a little drawing. You know, been doing some head sketches. Everybody that backs my book gets a. I'm doing these on a little mixed media pad that's 4x6. Little mixed media,
yeah,
110 pound. Here's just some examples of some stuff I've been working on. One of these I did today. That's not it. It's probably be the last one I show.
That's Bog.
That one's Bog, yeah, and he can take different iterations. Here's another one. Of course, I picked out some of the better ones, but of
course,
I think. But yeah, I mean, there he looks a little bit more alien. You know, the eyes are done a little differently. Here a little bit, you
know. So these are for backers.
These are for backers. Yeah, everybody that backs gets a head sketch. Here's the one I did today on the stream earlier.
So those are Boggers and a different character.
That's Geo. Yeah, he's made out of rock. Yeah, he's Jack Kirby inspired. You know that jagged line that's inked. You know, I thought, you know, what was, you know, do that jagged line above and below the eye. And created him a while back. I've got bookmarks that I've done. Here's a Bog bookmark that's been offered up, and or not. This one hasn't been offered up yet. I'd like to do a glow in the dark series. There's another one.
So these will be printed, or are these just made specifically for one backer?
One backer, yeah. Now this one's Shadowhawk, but I thought I would show it off. You know, that one's going to him. But now the ones that are currently up on there are Bog with the moon up on the campaign right now, and then we've got Slaver. This character I created because I had someone on my show and they had a character on one of their interior pages, and just the conversation kind of got me going.
Cool.
And this is my own artwork, so there's a little square off between Bog and a wraith-like character called Dirty Joe.
Dirty Joe.
So those are out there, and then I've had others up here. I don't have them up currently, but I might be putting these back up or some like it. This is like the mighty battle brick road, well, this is the mighty battle brick. A character that brick's actually going to be in the book, and not maybe a cameo of this character. Huh? Yeah, these are first concept drawings. This was the first concept of a villain called the Albino. And he has a power, and you can see it demonstrated there with that eye there, little hint.
All right.
But because these are first concepts, you know.
All right.
But
you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. Hey, Alex in the house.
Alec Horowitz, welcome.
If you don't know, I do a daily show. Shadowhawk, you got a wrench? Why don't you know what? I could probably just drop it myself, but drop the
Shadow
link
has a wrench
to our channel. Shadowhawk is
the
my
link to your channel
co-host.
is in the description of the video also, so people can subscribe to your YouTube channel.
And you are correct. This is the first time I've actually been on with you. You've been on with me about 4 or 5 times at various
Think so,
times,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
over the last couple of years, and really
So
appreciate every time you come on, because you make you're one of the few people out there that has great character design, loves to put out good quality comics.
Thank you.
And
But it's not about me today, Rex.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. But your collection of comics, you have one of the biggest collections of anyone that
I've got about
I've seen with.
30,000.
30,000 books.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm guessing, original
Sure.
art and production art. Probably one of my holy
You
grails.
stream daily, and
production art
every
is-
day you show new stuff, so you have so much going on.
I try, yeah. I mean, this is the color separation to Avengers #4. It's probably a holy grail. Yeah. This
So-
is production artwork, that helped produce the cover. Without
Really?
this stage, the book would not have come out.
Where do you
Original
find
art is just one stage of the production of a piece. You have like printing process. I used to work for World Color that used to print Marvel comics. Although my particular division, we did things like the Disney catalog, airline books, you name it, fishing books. It depended on what contracts we had. Of what books we did. We do Newsweek. That was probably our biggest book, because that's a weekly magazine that we did.
Did you? So you did printing. You were.
I was in the binding. I wasn't in the
In the
printing
binding.
part, but I was in the bindery. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
So
I did go into the printing part and talk to some of the printers and things like that, or the art division. It was kind of in that section as well.
Sure.
I went all over the factory sometimes. Yeah.
Sure.
I was a
So,
cover feeder.
how long have you been doing that?
I did that for about 3.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't do it any longer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So where do you buy these things that you showed just now? Where do you find that?
Generally on eBay, but there's other places where you can get it. And that, I've been collecting for a while. My first collection burned up in 1997, unfortunately.
What,
it was
burned up?
arson. It was arson. Yeah, about 16,000 comics. But that was all replaceable, no matter what the short print run was. You had, original art. I used to have the Avengers heads that you see up in the Ditko box, what I call the Ditko box.
Yeah.
Up in the corner of Marvel Comics. I used to have the Avenger heads page by John Byrne. I bought that up in Chicago up in 1985 at the Chicago Comic-Con.
Original page.
Yeah, original page. I had a I had a Jim Steranko.
It's called John Byrne, but it doesn't mean
I had a
it's
Jim
Byrne.
Starlin. I had a Jim Starlin page
Right.
from DC Comics Presents. It's gone. I had
Holy shit.
a bunch of other Ninja Turtle stuff. But now artwork wise, I had like a great Gene Day Aztec Ace from Eclipse Comics page. I had Steve Lytle commission that he did for me, and another page, a Teen Titans page that he did burn up. So those are one of a kind items. They're irreplaceable.
Right, but it was arson, you said.
It was arson, yeah.
So why would anyone do that?
Well, he did it to take it off his taxes, redevelop the land, and get the insurance money.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I was in the place like 1 month, had just paid for my second month rent, and he burned it down. And it wasn't only me, but it was 5 other people in the complex. They lost their business. I lost my collection, my
Holy
school
shit.
annuals, my class ring, what little silver and what valuables I had. I didn't even find slag. It was a very hot fire. But I found rows of ashes where my long boxes had been.
Oh no. Oh no, Rex.
Yeah.
Oh,
Burn my
okay.
furniture up, my record collection. But the original art's what really
Nice, bro.
hurts, you know?
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah,
Well,
because it's just irreplaceable.
at least now everything is safe. You have a brand new collection. You have a lot of
Right.
lot of
I
awesome
jumped
stuff.
right up on that horse that first year. Right after that, the local comic shop was going out, and I bought it. And that's how I got my copy of like first appearance of Harley Quinn, which
All right.
is, you know, a newsstand, which was only about 10% of the run at that time. You know, once I had a comic shop back in 1982 and 83. And so I've loved comics for a while. I was like 17 at the time, still in high school, and got together with a couple guys. One of the guys was the guy that drew Devil Flyer, John Flandes. And I talked to him a few years back and said, would you like to do a Devil Flyer story? I had just created the character in 2018. And he said, yes. And so what did I do? I pitched him every other idea that he knocked down for 8 months.
Right.
And then I said, I was just remembered, he said yes to Devil Flyer. And so I said, okay, you said you'd do a Devil Flyer story. You still game to do that? And he said yes. And we got busy. And
Excellent.
I said, good, I'll write a story. So I took 8 hours out of my day, wrote the story, thumbnailed it out, and then I made copies for him and went over there and we went through the story, and Devil Flyer came to life. He drew it, he inked it, he lettered it. He's been a graphic designer. Excuse me.
Did you say you wrote the entire story in 8 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
pretty
it was.
fast.
It turned out to be 28 pages.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you had it laid out. You had the character. You said you created the character in 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty recent, relatively speaking. It's pretty recent, right?
Right. Yep.
Because you've
I've
been a
got
collector
characters
for
that go all the way back to the 70s, to my childhood.
What did you say?
I said I've got characters that have goes back to the 70s, to my childhood. I used to make my own homemade comics.
Oh, really?
And the way I met John, the artist of Devil Flyer, was they had there's some of their homemade comics. Another gentleman that we know, Dave Snow, that John used to work with, and in the art department. And then he went on to another job, but they remained friends, and he had characters, and they would take his characters, and he did a story with Dave, and they showed it at the local library, and my mother saw it and said, you need to get together with these guys. And I got their phone numbers, contacted them, and worked a lot more with Dave Snow than I did John. But he was the one that we opened up the comic book shop with a little while, you know, in 82 and 83. And
you opened a comic book shop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you were a comic book owner, a shop owner.
Yeah. Well, along with Dave, he was my partner. I wouldn't really want to do it without someone else. And I always thought I'd get back to it, you know. You know, I and another friend of mine that's from college, Elsie, that comes on the show, and he's got like, you know, all kinds of collectibles that are just one of a kind. And he and I have both been collecting. Got together again about 1997, that same disastrous year, and we've been kind of collecting together and on eBay together for a long time, you know, selling stuff and buying stuff and, you know, trading and stuff. He's got like Jack Kirby oil painting, got a backpack that Robert Crumb did a drawing on at Woodstock. I mean, just one of a kind things that frankly should be in a museum. I bought some production art stuff that I bought. I've sold too. I've flipped, you know, after a time. You can't keep everything. I actually have sold to some people that have put stuff in comic book museums One of them's in California, and I'm not sure where the other one is. So some of the stuff that I've collected and had in my collection at one time is actually in comic book museums.
Right. Robert Crumb. Crumb is a great documentary, by the way.
Mm.
So what happened to your comic book shop? Does it still is it still there?
It was called the Chamber of Comics, and we
Yeah.
only had it like Dave said, you know, it got a little bit much for him with his
Mhm.
home life. I mean, he had a young son at the time and a wife, and she was ailing. She later died of cancer, I believe. And so we had to close it down. And
Oh.
I was still in high school, so I didn't have a lot to say about it, you know.
Oh, you were very young.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was 17. I was still in
Oh,
June,
really?
and
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I was still in high school. Yeah,
All
and
right.
but we got in right when the direct market of comics started, and that's when the comic book shop, they started making comics exclusively for the comic book shop. Runs like Brian Bolland's Camelot 3000, you know, the Marvel Age book about comics, things you couldn't find on the stands, the spinner
Right.
rack like you've got behind you.
Sure.
You used to be
So
able to find comics everywhere, and the direct market took over the, you know, spinner racks and the direct and the you know, grocery stores and stuff distribution very quickly. In about 5 years, in 1986, you see it matching what was on the stands, 50-50, and then 87 it slips to around 38%. By the end of the 80s, early 90s, the news stands, newsstand editions were only like 10% of the run, and once you get to the end of the 90s and early 2000s, it's less than 1% of the run. So it took over the newsstand distribution very quickly and really killed a bunch of comic book business, because you used to be able to go into pharmacies in America, go into grocery stores, go in just places where they had magazines and find comics. Now you can't do that. You have to
that's
go to a
true.
specialty store, a comic book store, and those are
Yeah.
probably less than 3,000 in America left. You know, it's not a big number. There's a lot of
No, not
places that
not
don't
anymore.
have comics.
No. Welcome, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Welcome. So you've seen a lot of comics. You're a collector. So what are
Yeah.
your favorites amongst comics? Are there some classics that you really love?
You know, I started really looking back at my backstory. It started out with cartoons before I ever read a comic. There were from some promo early stuff like Bugs Bunny and characters like that wasn't too serious, that were like giveaway comics. When you get a new pair of shoes, they give you a comic, or you go in there and look, they give you a little comic giveaway. Mary March comics or something was probably some of the first comics I ever got.
That's
Or
how they get you.
yeah, or if you buy a toy, you know, it might have had a little something in there. I don't know.
Oh, this is right. You had this. Was this with He-Man also? You had these He-Man toys and had this little
Yeah, but
comic book?
that's way later. That's about where
Oh,
I'm in
okay.
high school.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. We're going way back. We're going back to the late 60s, early 70s. You know, in the
Okay.
70s. I was more of a grow up in the 70s and becoming a young man in the 80s. But yeah, a neighbor of mine broke his leg, and I bought about 5 or 6 comics from him, and there was a Defenders 15 in there. There was a one of those 60 cent 100 pagers that had Legion of Superheroes, which was some of Jim Shooter's early stuff that he wrote. He was like 13 and 14 writing comics, you know,
That's crazy.
when he was in junior high and in
Yeah.
high school. I mean, yeah. And
That's crazy.
you know, that was great stuff. I devoured it. But it was really George Perez's Avengers. When my grandfather was in the hospital, my mother would leave me at the pharmacy, go across the street, go visit my grandfather while I looked at the comics. That's when you could leave a kid by himself safely, you know. And I just went, and it took you a while to go through a good rack full of comics because there was a bunch there, you know, different titles. And I just tried to get as much bang for my buck and what appealed to me. And it happened to be Avengers 147. We went back to visit my grandfather a couple weeks later. This was at a Rexall drugstore. Rex buying comics at Rexall. Hey, it was destined. I just happened to get another issue the next couple of weeks. I didn't know it was continued like a soap opera. And I got out to the truck, and it was the next issue. And I said, I'm going to collect this from now on. And I did. And that's how I started collecting some of that great George Perez art.
Right. Yeah.
That
George
I always
Perez,
loved.
great.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Don't worry, Shadowhawk. I just put it in the chat, but it's also pinned in the chat. It's also in the description of this video. So visit the campaign. Check it out. We will visit the campaign with you because we're going there right now.
Oh,
let's see. Oh, a lot of things open. Let me see.
that's right. It's no longer
right.
about me. It's about the campaign. Yes.
Well, the campaign is about you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And
49 backers. That's
just,
fantastic, man.
Oh, wow. We got a new backer. Awesome.
Yes. Excellent.
From last time I looked.
Alex says, I remember going to the comic book store and just spending hours going through the boxes. Good times. Yeah, same here. Same here. And now I go in, nothing there. I go out. So the first comic store I went to was over at Memphis Comics, which is no longer there anymore, but they had half the store records and half the store comics. Sure. And you know, I got some like good condition books back then in 1982 when I went over there. That are about $50 books now, and I bought them for like $2 back then. Wow, yeah, these were magical times, man. Mm-hmm. With I remember they had a whole set of ElfQuest there. Okay, that I could have bought for about $75, but that was a lot of money, you know. Yeah, so you didn't. I didn't, no, but I remember seeing it, you know, and I still have a, you know how they do a promo. They had their picture on it. I still have it. It's like, and you had to buy it. I think it was a couple of bucks, but it was worth it because it was like had them sitting on a pile of comics or cash, counting their cash from all the money that they're making X-Men from off X-Men books because John Byrne and Terry Austin were so hot. I collected a couple of years before I even saw an X-Men book. It just never hit any of the stands, you know. But once and then when I did see it, I didn't glom onto it immediately, but it only took me a few issues to get hooked. You know, and I finally bought one, read it, loved it, and went back for more. Collected it from then on. Right. Which I think that's one of the greatest runs of all time, you know, the death of Phoenix. I actually cried when Jean Grey died. But it was masterfully done. The entire run, up to the point, and even after that, everything just was so. Well, they had you were invested in the characters. I mean, Chris Claremont had a great build up for a couple of years on that story. Yes, it was a slow burn. But this is what you can do with the monthly schedule, right? You can build towards. Hey, if any literature makes you cry, and I'm not the only collector who's talked about that issue. I believe it was 147. I might have that wrong, but when Jean Grey died, that you know, a guy that I bought a bunch of production artwork and stuff from and comics, he said I did the same thing. I cried. You know, if any literature can move you like that, if you're that invested in the characters, then, and I was older by that time. In 1979, I was like 14. Yes. You know, it moved me. That was great characterization. You know, that's 137. Okay. 137. Yes, this is the thing with comics. It has to resonate with you, right? So there has to be this emotional layer to it. Later
Yeah.
on, with some of the image guys like Extreme Studios, that was all like spectacle, but there was little substance to it, right? So you couldn't
Right.
really latch on to to
Mhm.
anything, basically to any character or story. But when you have the perfect art along with a fascinating story that takes you on this journey, that's something only comics can do, man. You know,
Yeah,
that's
exactly. It takes a while
Mhm.
to, and comics made me a reader. You
Sure.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
needed that visual stimulus.
Same here.
And it took me for that very first Avengers story. It took me to places and concepts that I had would never ever think about.
Yeah.
Parallel worlds and just all kinds of and I think it's made me a more imaginative and creative person. I mean, I've met great people like Stan Lee and Julius Schwartz and people that I never thought Mike Barron, I thought I would never meet in real life. Mike,
Yeah, yeah.
Zach, uh, just Bill Sienkiewicz, you name it. I didn't get to meet Jack Kirby, sadly, but probably shouldn't have stopped till I met him. But
Right. And it
we're
says
all
I'm going
passing the
to read.
torch, the legacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
learned to
learned.
read from comic books as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Same here
it's just
because.
that slow burn. Don't rush it, don't force it. Immerse the reader. That's what I tried to do. You'll see on the
Uh-huh.
artwork here, I tried to,
All
it
right.
was probably taken from a Amazing Spider-Man story where the hero is chained up and he's sinking in the water. They're trying to drown him or bury him at
Yeah.
sea, and you're immediately, I remember just turning that page and going, bam, wow, I'm already into the story. And then we
Yes.
flash back, and then I reread Devil Flyer a couple months ago, going over the story again, and just sat down and read it out of the file. And I had forgotten by page 16 when he gets thrown into the water that I had seen that on page 1. I said, I've done my job. But it's more than Devil Flyer. Really, we're birthing a whole universe. It was
Hmm.
supposed to be like a one and done, let's do a comic. But then when
Sure.
it come to the crowdfunding, I thought, okay, I need to not only build my channel more, but I need to build this comic book up more and the universe. Because I do have a lot of, I don't want to just tell the story of one character. I want to tell a story of the Momentum universe of characters that I've been creating, frankly, since the 1970s.
Right.
And so I
Welcome,
started
Jonas.
adding back stories. Hey, Jonas.
Jonas Olson. Welcome. Yeah. Great. All right. Let's talk about the comic itself, right?
Okay.
Death Flyer. We can start with the trailer. Is that a good plan?
Sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
There we go. Devil Flyer. All right.
Yeah, baby.
Only
on
fun
Fund My Comic.
All right. Cool. So one of the fun things in writing comics is coming up with sound effects, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like whoosh. And so, do you have a certain strategy for that, or is it just whatever?
Well,
comes up?
earlier, I was talking about that with Russ and them earlier today. It's like I asked them, how do you do sound effects? Because that really gets you thinking about sound. Like when
Yes.
Devil Flyer uses the energy out of his trident, what type of sound does that make? So
Exactly.
I went with Shrek because that's
Shrek.
but I did think about, he bursts the chains underwater, and there's a little homage there. I put Foom, Friends of Old Marvel, Foom. How would that sound do underwater? It'd probably be like a
Mhm.
Foom. So
Mhm.
it gets you thinking about sound,
Right. Just deep sound. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, that's always fun. That's always fun
this
to
is
me.
this is a magazine, epic size, 48-page one shot.
All
Um,
right.
and
This is the main
because
character that we're looking at right now.
yeah, that's where
That's
the
Devil Flyer.
momentum universe, kind of the linchpin that kind of centered around there. I first did an ash can over on Indiegogo, and it's still up on the Indiegogo.
It's still up there. People can still get this.
Still up there. I've got a few more copies left. It was 28 pages. It's got the first 7 pages of the Devil Flyer story, and another section there. Here's the tapestry that's up that we'll take a look at. This is a piece done by me of Bog, which was character that, but it will be like this proof here. It will be of the ash can. It will lay flat like this. You'll be able to really enjoy it and not be the square bound that I've seen where you kind of don't want to mess it up. It'll
Sure.
lay out good for you and be epically big, So yeah, I tell you, when I got this proof in, I said, this is the impact I want to make. I want it to look big, and one reason it really needs to be this size, this is kind of how I envision it, so that it would, because he drew it the size of a comic book, like a regular comic, and then of course you have to have border around that so you even lose some space. He was 71 when he drew it. He had eye surgery on this eye, and then I had eye surgery on this eye while he was drawing it. Great designer, though. You'll love his layout of panels. Been doing it for 40 years or more. He just retired from working at an architectural firm. He would actually do the exterior landscapes and houses, before they started doing it digitally. So he's a great artist.
And he's the artist for your book?
Yes, he's one of the artists. He's the artist of the Devil Flyer story. Yep.
All right. He drew this piece right here?
No, this particular one, this is taken from this is going to be the standee. I have an acrylic standee in that bundle there you see. This is John Dillard from the isolated from the cover. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So we have an artist edition we're going to do. We got a Jimmy Reyes wraparound cover dropping here pretty soon.
All right. I'm just going
and
through
we've got
this.
one from John Philandes himself.
All right. So what's the comic? So what's the story for? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, Devil Flyer. He in the Devil Flyer story, and they're all interlinked. Like we have a 2-page Interman story drawn by John Dillard, and it's linked up by dialogue with the actions in Devil Flyer. Then we have one called Grave Tales with Bog in it. The Devil Flyer story, though, he is in modern day Chicago, and my stories are told slightly in the future. Slightly in the past, and we're leading up to the climax of the arch of this story. Basically, he makes a Faustian type of deal with this chaotic, realm creature, and he basically unwittingly opens up Pandora's box a second time, and so there's all kinds of stuff that the world's affected by now, and including time is affected and space is affected by that action of trying to help a friend out, and so he's not a free agent, and for every good deed he does, he has to sort of remove a certain obstacle for the apocalypse to happen. I mean, for this chaotic creature to be once again unleashed upon on the world. So as he's being the hero, he's bringing about the apocalypse. So in the meantime, he's meeting all these other heroes that you'll first meet in these individual one and done stories, but are linked up sometimes directly, and they'll be slowly rolled into the Devil Flyer story.
Okay.
So he's assembling an Avenger team, if you will, or a Justice League to fight this great evil at the climax of the story.
Right. So it's a sort of anthology book.
Yeah, but it's all the Devil Flyer story. It may be divided up into different stories, but then we're gonna do this magazine, and then we're gonna do with issue 1, we'll have 6 stories. Issue 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, till you get to the climax in 6.
All right.
So we will be eliminating a story.
So it comes together.
It comes together, right? All the stories are eventually rolled in. You'll have a major character, which is Devil Flyer, in every issue. You'll have a more minor character, which on this one is Bystander, which is kind of my cosmic watcher character.
Right.
Which you've got on the backdrop here with that fractured John Dillard piece, sort of the fractured glass piece.
This one, this Iron Angel.
This is a villain that's going to go up against Devil Flyer, kind of an armored up Devil Flyer.
All right. Cool.
And he will be in the book. These aren't just pinups. This will be part of the art of the book. Yeah.
All right.
In a kind of a collage form in the Bystander story that I'm working on now. This is my first Western hero, Midnight. She'll be in the book.
All right. She's so. Does this take place in? Does this take place in several eras?
Yeah, a lot of these will be cameos, but and he'll be just kind of showing you the characters ahead of time, almost like a preview. But she's basically comes to the present and goes back to the past at some point.
All right. Midnight. Okay.
Midnight.
By George Peter Getsis. All right. And then you have this one. I love this one.
Kind of like Fractured Reality, you know.
This is really cool. Yeah. Oh, by Doug Blaylock. All right.
No, that's I think that's the next piece or something.
Oh, sorry.
He's got that mislabeled. It should be. No, it should be. That should say that's John Dillard again. I don't know why.
But this character is called Bystander. This is Bystander.
Yeah, that's Bystander. Okay. Now in the Grave Tale story, the bystander is going to have his own story, and he's also in the Grave Tale story. So we've got crossover characters happening already.
Sure. Cool. Yeah, this really well done. I love this. And then we have modern day
the
mummy.
Same artist that did Midnight, George Peter Gaddis. This is my modern day mummy character, as he kind of saw him and depicted him.
Modern day mummy.
Modern day mummy.
Cool. We have a few covers.
That's the main cover by John Dillard.
Wait, so I can see it better. It says prequel here.
Yeah, counting Devil Flyer, there's 14 characters on there. Some of the main players.
Right.
And some of them are, all of them will be in the book somewhere, but if nothing else on this cover, but the Inner Man, he's got a story in there. Boggs got a story in there. Bystander's got a story. He's in 2 stories.
All right. Nice. Yeah, it's cool art.
And some
That's
of
nice.
these characters will be making, their debut in a story soon.
John Falandis.
Yeah, he's the main artist on the Devil Flyer story.
Oh,
And this was a watercolor cover that he did, sort of our Golden
watercolor.
Age cover. And that's the original sort of costume and he's kind of like Spawn, resurrected, Doctor Strange. After I designed him, his wings and just his trident and devil tail kind of suggested the name Devil Flyer. That's how I came up with the name.
Okay.
Often, I will start with a head, but with him, I designed out the whole costume and everything.
It's a style you don't see much of, so it stands out. It's
Yeah, a lot of people like
pencil
that.
with without the digital work on it.
All traditional.
Even the logo is drawn.
Yeah, hand done. Yeah,
Cool.
We made magnet from that on the Ashcan.
Oh, you did?
Campaign. Yep.
Oh wait, 1 sec. Solo.
Yeah, we made this magnet of Devil
Everyone
Flyers,
gets that?
and we made a company magnet that you get with the Ashcan Momentum, and he also designed this.
Cool. That's your
He's a
company
great
logo,
designer.
right?
Huh?
That's your company name, Momentum.
Momentum Comics.
Why
yeah,
why is it called
Concepts.
Momentum?
Because there's no stopping us now.
Excellent answer.
Yeah, it's
all right. And then a mystery cover.
Yeah,
Jimmy
that's
Reyes.
going to be dropping here pretty soon. It's the Jimmy Reyes wraparound cover. He's working on Dragon Rage right now, but he's started on the Devil Flyer, the front portion. He'll be working. Well, I'll be getting with him in the next day or so, and we're going to hammer it out, and we'll get it up there on the campaign.
All right, cool.
And we have an artist edition, which will be black and white like this of John Dillard's cover. With the logo there in red, and it'll have additional material. I was given a file by John of sort of the making of type artwork, some artwork that I don't have the actual pages that'll be up here for sale. He wanted to keep those, like the cover that he painted, he wanted to keep that. He's got that we went through that recently, as a matter of fact, just kind of looking through the stuff. But he gave me a whole file of drawings that he did. And there'll be at least 12 pages in the artist edition. Plus, it'll have the whole story.
Great.
All 48 pages.
So did you design all these characters here?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Great. So these are like characters also that you thought of back when you were young.
Well, different times, like Sea Demon, 1993, probably, which is kind of like my Aquaman. Let's see who we got. We got Silver Boa, which came out around maybe
that's a recent
2017. So,
all right.
Some are more recent than others.
Yeah.
Some of them, like Midnight, were created last year. She's a relatively new character.
All right.
Bystander a couple years ago.
Cool.
I mean, as far as hammering out his final look, but I've had him as a concept for a while.
Yeah, it's well drawn. This is well drawn piece. What's this?
Yep.
Interior samples. Oh, that's good.
Yep. Devil's weapon, because the story does focus around his weapon in this first story. He's in modern day Chicago, basically fighting a mob family, the Cy Marco crime family.
All right. There's a brick here. That'll stop him. Change in a brick.
He says, what can I say? And then you go to a double page spread, and I have a quote by Thomas Paine. Says these are the times that try men's souls. Little social commentary by me.
Social commentary. We love that.
A lot of people say this looks like Golden Age artwork, and I have to agree. I really didn't think of it in that manner, but if you like sort of a Golden Age feel, you'll like this first story done by John.
All right.
And again, we thumbnailed all this out, and then he took it and drew it, and I approved it, and then he inked it, and then we lettered it. And the sound effects and everything were put in there by me.
Shrek. So what are Devil Flyer's powers?
Well, the way I imagine him at this time here, they changed. They morphed. Like he was like a Spawn, Doctor Strange. Believe it or not, this character was meant to be like a Doctor Strange, sort of not dealing in magic, but have, sort of Spawn resurrection type powers, whatnot. And that's why he had the green energy on the Golden Age cover done by. But now I leaned into the fiery part with the John Dillard cover, where he's got fire around his wings and everything, to make him more devil-like. So,
okay, sure.
What's his powers? His powers are going to be an interesting thing. They're going to morph, and a lot of his power is in the trident, kind of like Silver Surfer's surfboard,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
This is another 2-page spread.
That's his power source also, right? The trident.
It's what? A power source?
That's his power source.
No. But no, there's a whole thing there. A lot of his power has actually been siphoned off, and he doesn't know it. But now you're meddling, Dave.
Okay.
It's been stored up in the trident, but it used to be in him.
Right.
But this is alluding to his origin.
Yeah.
Right here.
Right. Let me zoom in a little bit.
Little
Double page spread here. Down.
There's the bystander on the gray tails.
He didn't go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Some stuff going on. Will this be colored? This book?
No, this story is going to be in black and white.
Okay.
It's some of the book is going to be colored. I have, like in the Gray Tales, it's going to be spot colored. The color is going to be like Schindler's List, where they colored the little girl's shoes, but the rest of it was in black and white. And the color helps tell the story, which is basically about a serial killer clown that Bog stops. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was Devil Flyer was born in 1899. He was old enough to fight at the end of World War I and fought in World War II. And how he got up to present day Chicago, standing there over Chicago, to become a defender and go up against the San Marco crime family in this first story.
That's what we're going to find out, right?
Yeah, you're going to see this crime family again in different eras and different times, in different stories. Here's the bystander in the foreground of that one, Grave Tales.
Right.
Sort of old Charlton feel to it, I think. Doc Blaylock, I think this is probably my favorite story out of the book, to tell you the truth. The backstory on this clown is that he killed the clown. He killed the clown, assumed his makeup, and started preying on the children in the park. And he always leaves a balloon at their grave after he's killed them later on.
Right.
But it didn't quite
then he
work
gets
out
his
for him
comeuppance here.
Yeah, because he's summoned up out of the ground. You see on the second page, you see the bystander doing his cosmic mumbo jumbo over the grave. And this is what happens.
Some designs,
yeah. Bystander. We have Slaver there, the killer clown, an unidentified vampire, which will be a sub story. He's going to be one of people's favorites characters before it's all over with. He's a villain, of course.
Nice designs, says Alec.
Thank you. Yeah, we got a 6 a.m. sticker. For a year, I've been trying to get him to design me a sticker. And I said, look, I'll make it easy on you. Right after my campaign launch, he says I'm open for commission. So I gave him one. And most people do it as a stretch goal. I'm just going to give it to you. If you signed up, you get a full trading card done by me. If you've of Devil Flyer, We have unlocked this trading card, and you also get a charter member card as well. A Devil Flyer fan club charter member card.
Right.
And that entitles you to packages down the road sent out by me of free
Right.
stuff.
Carrie asks, did you pinch that from Stephen King's It? He
Nope.
kills kids and the red balloon floats up after.
Nope. Doc, the way he came about, I had a painting of a clown that I envisioned as a serial killer. And as we were talking about stories that Doc might want to do, he says, you got any serial killers? And I say, I got one. It's a clown. And that's how it happened. Yeah.
Okay, you're
And
very
then
close to unlocking the zigzag magnet.
Yeah, Zigzag. He's kind of my company mascot character. He's
Right,
my
yeah,
speedster because he's all about speed and momentum.
Momentum, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you
Makes
call him?
sense now.
Momentum. That would be a good name also. Anyway, you have let's see, 49 backers. Let's refresh. Right, you never know.
All
You
right.
never know. 49 backers. And then it's 49 backers. You're very
Okay.
close to the magnet. To the magnet. So guys, the link to all of this is in the description of the video. It's also pinned in the chat. Go check it out. So that's great. That's great.
Clowns should be scary. Yeah, the
They're
campaign's
pretty-
all
they're-
about the books pretty much, and not
They're
the
pretty scary, yeah.
tchotchkes. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get some tchotchkes in your hands as stretch goes. You know, some good ones. The next card after the magnet or trading card will be that midnight piece that you saw, the Western character, trying to add
That's
some
cool.
sex appeal. And we have a tapestry available, and we have a standee right now available, and a lot of original art.
A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff there.
Yep.
Great.
Ooh,
All right,
looky
guys,
here.
go check out that campaign. And while you're on FundMyComic, you can also browse through this campaign right here, the Perfect 10 Deluxe Hardcover Artist Edition, which is exclusive. So you can get the best deal when you go through crowdfunding and get this book. If you back it also at the checkout, you fill in the voucher code Perfect10, you get a 10% discount. So, and the book is basically done. We're adding some small things. It's going through a small revision. You can get your own. You can get a head sketch from Pau. He will draw any character you want, or a full character commission. You can get original pages from the first book. So from Perfect 10 1, there's still some pages left. You can get it here, and
Wow.
original art is sold out. So check that out, guys.
130
share it
pages
with others.
I've got
Yeah,
a
that-
question. Whose
crazy.
signature is that up there by Perfect 10? That's really neat.
That's Pau's signature.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
Of course, this is basically dedicated to Pau's art, right? This is
Mhm,
his
mhm.
thing. And you can also get the signature in the book. So the basic version for $45. And you can get signed with a fixed book plate. So he's signing these, right? And for $85. But these are limited. So because he has a small stack, he signs them, he sends them over to us. We will make sure they will get in the book. You will get those.
Where's he located? Is he in Europe as well?
No, it's in Brazil.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's always it takes months for things to travel to him and to come
Yeah.
back to us.
Have you
So
ever
we-
lost anything through the mail? Doing that that way?
No, not really, but they do make it difficult sometimes. So I got one time called up by custody from Brazil. They called me. What was in a package that he sent to me? And I was like, why don't you ask him? Right?
Yeah.
Really strange. Anyway, Rex, thank you so much for being my guest today, sir.
Thank you, Dave. I saw your opener trailer, and you've got some greats there, Irene, and just all those other creators. Maybe I'll make a trailer one of these days.
Yeah.
Make your next trailer.
I'm just
when
lucky
you
that
decide to upgrade it.
I'm just lucky that I can get
Yeah.
to talk with all you wonderful people, wonderful creators. So thanks
Well,
again, Rek, and
likewise.
good luck with your campaign, sir.
Well, thank you. Yeah, good luck with yours, man. Perfect 10.
Perfect
Go
10.
back it. It's
All right.
great.
And special thanks to the chat and to everyone watching, also watching from the replay. Thank you all so much, because without you, there's no point, right? So if you like this conversation, give it a like. If you didn't like the conversation, give it a dislike. And I'm very sorry. And I'll be back next week. Same time for me. So this means a different time for you because of the weird, what is it?
Yeah.
The weird time difference right now. But I hope to see you guys next week. That's it. That's the end. Bye bye, guys.